Welcome back, everyone. It is now the end of December for the most part. We're getting closer to the new year, in which things kick off with The Bad Batch Season 2, followed by Mando 3 and Ahsoka. That's really going to conclude, of course, this first phase, quote-unquote, of the Star Wars universe by Jon and Dave. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about actor Hayden Christensen is that he, of course, has been through quite a lot over the years. We have seen him get so much criticism over the prequel trilogy back in the day, especially with Attack of the Clones, and when he came back in the Kenobi series, I had no complaints about him, nor did the majority of fans. Everybody loved his return. Everybody thought that he did a solid and amazing job. It's just that the Kenobi series in its entirety lacked a lot of values, let's say, with, of course, the Star Wars franchise and what George Lucas had created all those years ago. But Hayden's performance stood very much impressive, and that's what I liked so much about the show, including, of course, Ewan McGregor. Let's not forget about him. However, Hayden has been a lot more talkative just recently this past week, talking more and more about his experience with the Kenobi series, his experience with the prequels, and exactly, what's going on for the future of his involvement in the Star Wars franchise and more. So when you look at everything related to that, Hayden is a very, fan-driven guy. He loves the fans, he loves the fan base, he's very much, a fortunate actor, because this is a guy that has been on a long hiatus within Star Wars, very long, and got the opportunity to come back into the Star Wars franchise again, signing a multi-show contract deal. However, with Hayden, of course, recently signing that multi-show contract deal that is set to immerse him into the Star Wars universe in ways fans would never have imagined, Hayden recently got involved in an interview where he teased some very exciting things for the future of the universe and what's in store for Anakin and Darth Vader. Now, Hayden went on to state the following to the fans. First things first, I have to say that Jon and Dave have been of great support. We have been having some of the wildest conversations about the use of Anakin and Vader in, of course, some of the future installments and what that's going to look like. And I guess I can tease a couple of things. One thing I can confirm is that the Vader that you saw in the Kenobi series, well, what Jon and Dave are about to establish is going to completely surpass that side of Vader. They have been taking key notes from what Vader does in the comics and how that could be portrayed in live-action form. I also want to put it out there that you are all about to see different views of Anakin that have never been touched before either. Jon and Dave have this fleshed-out idea of really providing fans live-action sequences of Clone Wars Anakin multiple times through various installments that we are working on together. Now, I want to just stop right here for a second. Now, the thing about the Clone Wars era of Anakin Skywalker that we got a in-depth look into the Kenobi series, that was just the beginning. So, what Joby Harold teased in the Kenobi series, Jon and Dave are now going to be picking up on that and doing a lot of action scenes for Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker. And honestly, that is something that a lot of fans have been asking for, and we will be getting a lot of that. And a lot of it is going to be done in the Ahsoka series through flashbacks, and even in the pitched second season of Ahsoka that Jon and Dave are working out right now with the Disney higher-ups. So there's a lot of things happening with that too. Now, moving on to, of course, what's also been going on is that Darth Vader is coming back in the Ahsoka Tano series. There's a lot of Darth Vader, sequences that have been filmed, one of which did involve Hayden back in the suit again, that's based on something that Darth Vader does in the comics. I don't know if you guys read the 2018 Darth Vader comic lineup, but in there, Vader does some wild and crazy things that you would never even have thought of, alright? And I don't really want to give anything too much away if you guys want to read those comics, but let's just say that Vader does like these godly things in the series, and we're about to see stuff like that, since Jon and Dave are taking notes from the comics and how that's going to use Vader in a new light. Now, on top of this too, given that Hayden is very well aware that the fans have always wanted to see a different side of Anakin, a different side of Vader, that's what Jon and Dave are about to establish. So he goes on to say, and I couldn't be more excited, you will see the most violent version of Vader yet in the years to come, and brand new takes on Anakin during the Clone Wars. That's about as far as I can go right now. Now, additionally, separate from what Hayden revealed, this all alludes to Vader scenes being filmed by Jon and Dave for the Ahsoka show, along with Anakin going into many battles during the Clone Wars and the Ahsoka show, and also in a planned second season that they are forming right now for the fandom. Hayden has been training for the past 4 months for more Clone Wars action sequences, and has been stepped back into the role on Mustafar Anakin for Star Wars Ahsoka. Now, about that Clone Wars sequence in the Ahsoka series, we talked about one of the storyboards that were finalized for the actual show, showcasing both Clone Wars Anakin and Kenobi fighting a series of droids on a bridge above water. Now, we're not quite sure what planet this is on. Is it Naboo? Is it perhaps, of course, a different world that we have never seen before? It's a mystery. What city is it on a specific planet? We're not quite sure. But the thing about this is that they will have moments like that in the Ahsoka Tano series. We're going to have flashbacks of Ahsoka, flashbacks of Anakin, the world between worlds, showcasing these alternate realities, all these crazy things that Dave Filoni's tapping into. And this is something that a lot of fans out there, believe it or not, have wanted to see for a very long time. And some fans are very skeptical, right? Some fans don't want to see this alternate reality stuff or too many flashbacks, and I understand that. But when you look at stuff like this, of how we are going to get rich Vader material, Anakin material, led by Favreau and Filoni, what's not to like? These guys, they know exactly what they're doing, they know what the fans want to see, and they're going to give us probably a better Vader, story-wise, dialogue-wise, cinematic-wise, than how he was done in the Kenobi series, without a doubt, 100%. I think that Jon and Dave are really going to hit a home run with the Ahsoka show, and that's what Disney is and has been calling it, the home run of the Disney Plus Star Wars TV shows. Completely outperforming The Mandalorian, that's what it's expected to do. And you know what? At the end of the day, there's a reason why, is because it's really close and near to the mythology of Star Wars, to things like the Jedi, the dark side, the cosmic force, the Force itself. All of these different things that you love are going to be the main story piece of the Ahsoka show. So overall, guys, I would love to hear what each and every one of you have to say about what Hayden had to reveal here for the future of Star Wars. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.